So the first tale I'm going to share with you, tales from a head teacher, ex-head teacher, is it's probably about 10 years ago now when I was head of a really large three-form entry primary school. And we had Ofsted, and it had been you quite a tricky Ofsted, but it turned the second day. It really turned, and it was clear that we were going to get a good judgment, which for the school was really quite significant. And all the Ofsted inspectors were up in a room which overlooked the one of the playgrounds, the biggest playground. There were two playgrounds. It was very split. It was a split site, overlooking the playground. So I had been called to um, sit in with the Ofsted inspectors and listen to their deliberations before they came to their final judgment. And the final judgment was good. And I was told I wasn't allowed to share it with anybody. It needed to be just stay with me until everything had been quality assured, etc., etc., etc. So I came down the stairs and was met by various staff who were sort of saying and I just, all I could say was, I'm really pleased with the outcome. And so they were, oh, it's good, is it? So anyway, I then just went to my office and did a silent scream of joy, and then there was a knock on my door, and it was the bursar, and she came to see me and she said, Jackie, you need to come now. There's something on the playground you're going to need to deal with pretty quickly. It was coming towards the end of the day, and there was a long row of windows along the corridor, so you could see right out in the playground. And I'd say there was, about 100 or so parents gathering to collect their children, etc., etc. And I said, why? What's the problem? She said, there's a snake on the playground. I said, a snake on the playground? She said, yes, there's a snake on the playground. So I looked outside and I was looking and I was saying, I can't see a snake. I can't see a snake on the playground. And for me, the last experience I'd ever had with a snake was in my probationary year as a teacher in 1988, when I'd taken my class of year 5 or 6s down to London Zoo, and we'd had a reptile encounter. And the handler, we were all sat round in a circle, and the snake handler had put a massive snake around my neck, and I passed out in front of my class. Just flat out in front of my class. But I was sort of semi-conscious, and I could just hear these children shouting, "You've killed Miss! You've killed her! You've killed her!" So that was really quite a defining moment for me with snakes, and it got to the stage where I couldn't even look at them on telly or anything. So the thought of one being on the playground filled me with fear. But then the thing that filled me with even more fear was the Ofsted inspectors looking out onto the playground and seeing a snake. I could just see the good judgment, safeguarding, health and safety sort of disappearing right in front of me. So it took me a while to realise that there was indeed a 6-foot snake around the neck, draped like a lovely scarf around the neck of one of the dads. So I dug deep, put on my big girl's pants, and I thought, right, I'm going to have to go out and deal with this. And as I walked out onto the playground, this father was quite isolated. There weren't many parents who wanted to stand with him and his pet snake. And as I walked over to him, all these parents started going, because they knew where I was going, like this. I was like, no, shh, because I was very conscious. Upstairs in our little crow's nest room were a little gaggle of Ofsted inspectors, and the last thing I wanted them to do was to look out the window. So I very bravely went over to the parent and called him by his name. I knew him quite well, and said, sadly, we don't even let puppies on the playground, so a snake's not really up for debate. And his reply to me was, he was very polite, was very much, well, He just said, "Well, they don't mind Bernard round the co-op." And I thought, "I bet they don't have much choice around the co-op." So I then said to him, "Fantastic. Well, you go and wait by the gates and I'll bring the children to you." So, he very politely went to the gate, sorry, and I took the children to him. End of story. So, that is one of my many, many, many tales, and that is going to go into my book. Pleased to say I kept that under wraps from the Ofsted inspectors for quite a while. I don't even know if they ever found out about it, but we still got our good.